Hey troopers, Will and Chloe here. How are we doing? Nice to see you guys. Welcome for joining us. Another episode of the 501st Com Chatter here, and we hope you enjoy it. Um, just giving you guys a little heads up. Chloe's not feeling overly great today, but she has decided to come on anyway.
Yeah.
Which is very commendable of you.
Yes.
I said you didn't have to, but you wanted to.
But I wanted to for the viewers and the listeners.
And yes, because it is the Ahsoka finale.
And it's the finale. I can't miss this.
No, it was a very good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, what an episode. We have a lot to talk about today, a lot to go through. Some theories on where this takes us and what we do, where we go from here in terms of the Ahsoka show. So, again, thank you guys for joining us. Also, want to give a little shout out to our guest from last week, Simply. It meant a lot for us, for him to come on, join us for the week, for the episode. And it was nice talking about, his experiences with cosplaying and being Anakin. And yeah, our newest member of the 501st Contract family. So welcome, Simply. But yeah, so you know how the drill. You know the drill. We start off with the news.
Yes.
There's not a lot. Personal news. The Venator is being posted.
Yes.
Should be with us possibly tomorrow because we received part 1 today, didn't we? Well, actually, we got quite a bit with it, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's quite an expensive set, so you get a lot of gift with purchase from and free postage, which is good.
For that much, we should get free postage. But yeah, so we got some free sets today. I don't think they were Star Wars ones, though, were they? They were just random.
Yeah.
So we got those, and we got some patches.
Should I show them?
Yeah, let's see this.
I'll grab the patches to show
So, if you buy the Venator between the 1st and the 8th of October, you get this little gift set. Ooh! See, even I haven't seen these yet, so this is a. Oh, wow! Look at that.
Little unboxing for you guys.
That's quite cool.
So
let's have a little look. See how guys have a little proper look at that.
It's like an ingot of was it Republic credit?
Yes, I believe it's a Republic credit.
And then you've got little patches.
Little Yularen patch.
Put on jackets and things.
Yularen's looking
and
good.
Got sticky back on it, so yeah.
And there's a Captain Rex.
And there's
a Captain Rex patch. I gotta get that one will be going on that top. But look at that. It's quite cool. I know a lot of fans have been criticising these patches
this,
and that.
Ingot, I thought it was just another patch, but it's actually metal.
It's like, yeah, it's quite cool, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got that, and hopefully the Venator should be coming tomorrow. Sorry, yeah. Hopefully.
Well, if it does.
Well, part 1 of it, of the part, everything else has turned up today, so
I'm sure we'll post it on our socials, and
of course,
maybe we'll show you on here once it's done.
That'll be cool. So yeah, that's basically our little personal news. Obviously the Venator being.
And also you got your little C-3PO, didn't you?
Ah, yes, and the Gonk from the Lego little magazine. Yes, the Lego weekly magazine comes with little Gonk and little C-3PO.
And you pointed this out to me. He's actually got silver leg,
like in the film.
Very cool.
That's my first little C-3PO Lego minifig as well. So I'm quite picky when it comes to these little minifig magazines because there's a couple where it's just if I don't want it, like the ships, for example, I tend not to buy them. Mm-hmm. But for the minifigs, I tend to get because it's well, that's quite cool.
Yeah, I like the Clone Trooper ones and the Storm. Did you get a Stormtrooper one?
Yes, I did because I've got the Stormtrooper on the keyring for me, but I wanted the one with The one that I could actually like display with my other like minifigs. So yeah, that's quite cool. And then in terms of other news, shall we say, we have. It's a bit disappointing news, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll load up. There we go.
Yay.
So basically, for those who are not watching this and listening, the I'm all over the shop.
Star Wars. Knights of the Old Republic remake. Apparently, the trailers and tweets have been cold.
Yes. So on the like Twitter and that, so the YouTube video, like the announcement video for like the remake, that has been made private, which is again very strange.
Yeah.
And then all the tweets about the Knights of the Republic
yeah.
have been deleted as well, which is very sad news because it looks like we're now not going to get Knights of the Republic remake, which I know myself, you, and a lot of fans are quite disappointed about.
Because I've even been playing like the old one to like sort of learn more about the story. Because I've never played it before, but obviously it's got so many good reviews and stuff. So I've been playing the old game and being like, oh, soon I'll be able to download the new one. And now we're not gonna get it by the sounds of it. So.
But then you could look at it this way. It could either be a case of...
Because we love Revan.
Of course. Revan's up there. Revan is my guy. He is my Legends guy. Yeah. But, you know, you can look at this either two ways. You can look at it in terms of, okay, they're completely cutting it. They don't want anything to do with it. Or they are deciding to take the sort of Old Republic story and stuff, like Revan, like Malik and stuff like this, and they're bringing them in sort of another form of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Might be a show, might be a film.
Yeah.
And if you're bringing a remake of a game where you're going to have a different origin or story to a show or film, or even a comic, it's going to contradict and people are going to be upset. So they've probably either cancelled this because there was just not, it wasn't working, and they were like, well, this is a failure.
Yeah.
Or they've cut it and stopped doing this because we're actually going to get sort of Old Republic material in form of like a film or show or something. So fingers crossed. I don't think this is the end of Revan.
Hopefully not.
Well,
because we love Revan.
Well, like I was saying to you as well, like in the vintage collection 3.75 figures,
you
know, they're bringing out a Revan, Darth Revan, and a Jedi Revan.
Yeah.
And in the Black series, they've just brought out Malagus from like Old Republic. So clearly, the Old Republic era is still a thing at Star Wars and something that they know.
And also they've got the Black series Revan lightsaber.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff to be like. It's still profitable, and people. I would probably say, after the sort of Republic era of like Clone Wars and the clones and the Separatists, I'd probably say the Old Republic is probably the second most wanted content from Star Wars fans. Like, I want to see more of the Old Republic. I want to see a Revan show or film. I want to see even the High Republic after, before that and stuff. Like, I want to see all these different things. But Revan, I'm telling you now, it's not the end of you, my friend.
It better not be.
It better not be. But yeah, so that is basically the news. I mean, there isn't exactly like a lot, It's going to be quite funny as well, because when we come back to doing the podcast next week, we're going to have to talk about topics again. So we've had it's going to be no Ahsoka to break down each week.
I mean, we can still do episodes on Ahsoka Tano, but Yeah, just not the breakdowns until they bring out a new show.
Yeah. Andor season 2.
Maybe.
Although I have had this conversation with my co-host here, and being very honest, she's not a big Andor fan. I mean,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. So I've said, because she doesn't really want to watch it either.
I will watch it.
I've said I will do the Andor episodes
No.
by myself because she doesn't want to. I don't want to put her through that
No, because at the end of the day, it's Star Wars content, isn't it? So if I don't watch it, then I'm not a real fan. I need to know everything there is to know about the story of Star Wars. So I'm gonna watch it, and
So
I'm gonna be on the breakdowns for you guys because I'm not letting Will do this by himself.
I mean, do you really think you could handle 12 weeks
No.
of me? Just
What?
me?
No, well, no, because remember before we had like some Andor breakdowns, and
Were you buddy Andor breakdowns?
or was it Mando season 3 and the Bad Batch?
Oh, yeah, that was it.
I
It was
think,
Mando
yeah,
season
I'm
3,
getting
and there
confused.
was that episode with
That was very Andor.
the Andalorian.
kind
I
of
think it was, if I remember right.
Yeah,
So
everyone said it was like Andor.
the Andalorian.
I mean, I'm not one of these Star Wars fans that's like, oh, you like, I don't know. It's like some people, they like the sequels, but I know majority of Star Wars fans don't like them. But there's some people in the community that are very much so like, oh, if you like that, you're not a real fan kind of thing. I'm not like that. Like, if someone comes up to me and says, oh, I love Andor, I'll be like, yeah, you know, like,
I love Andor.
Okay. Well, this is the thing, like, everyone can like what they want to like, you know? Like, some people, they might prefer, like Kenobi to the Ahsoka show and stuff like that. Like, everyone can have their preference, and I'm not here to judge. So, yeah.
I think that answers that. I think she will be here for
I don't personally love Andor, but, you know, I'm still going to watch it because it's still Star Wars. And
Actually, speaking of Andor, I just realised I didn't mention. We have had, like, leaks of the trailer of Andor 2, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give you a heads up warning now. It looks very much like season 1 Andor.
Okay. Well, this is the thing, like,
I don't even know if there's a
some
stormtrooper
episodes.
in the trailer, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll get through this
the
together.
thing about Andor for me, I know this episode is about Andor and I'm going on about it too much, but like, the thing about Andor for me is, you know, all the main cast, we don't know much about them, whereas, you know, if you watch Ahsoka, you've watched the Clone Wars, you know a lot about her, you know about Ezra and Sabine and everyone. There's like a backstory to it, whereas Andor, there's not much a backstory other than Rogue One to these characters. So for me, it's kind of like, we want to see like something familiar.
I guess that's why they're trying to do Andor, to give these characters, or give Andor a backstory.
Because technically it is a backstory to Rogue One, isn't it?
Yeah. And apparently this season is going to end right before the film starts.
Yeah.
So whatever happens at the end of this series is going to go like straight into Rogue One, where it's like him going and meeting that guy on that planet. You know. So.
But also, you know, I say I don't necessarily like Andor, but there were some bits about it that I did really like the prison sequence. I quite enjoyed that. I think, is it Andy Serkis? Yeah. I think he did a great job.
Very good job.
There's certain things that I do like about it, and, you know, I'm not here to say I hate it or anything. You know, I'm still gonna watch it. It's just, it's not my favourite. And, you know, everyone can have their favourite, and the ones they don't like so much.
Also,
welcome to my TED talk about Andor.
But yeah, I think Tommy got on with the episode.
Yes. Ahsoka.
I've seen, before getting into it, I've seen a lot of people say it wasn't the best ending. There was a lot of stuff that they wish they'd done differently or changed. I thought the ending was great. I thought the finale, it leaves. Oh, by the way, just saying spoilers, just in case you
If
haven't
you haven't
seen
watched
it,
it,
but you should have. But yeah, just in case.
mhm.
I just think where it leaves everything off with like the main characters, it leaves you with enough room
Mhm.
to it's like, okay, well, what are they going to do with this in the film, in Filoni's film? Are they going to do
Mhm.
another Ahsoka series?
Yeah.
What's this character going to do? There's so much questions left unanswered and so much up in the air at the end of the episode. Like, it's not a full on, like, oh, this is the end. Like, we're not going to see these characters again. It's like, you clearly are. Like, they are going to be in this Filoni film as this is the next project, like, for it.
Yep.
Which I'm quite excited for if it is the case.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to know what this film is going to have. Like, how long we're going to have to wait for this film. But also, what is coming in between. Like, what character is going to be in it is going to be based more on Ahsoka's. I mean, is going to be based more on Mando. Personally, Ahsoka is Dave Filoni's character, so I'm sure she will be in this movie, 100%. But, I mean, the other characters, where are we going to be at this time? Are we going to be closer to the sequel trilogy?
I think we're still going to be a little while away from this
Yeah.
sequel trilogy because I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bridge the gap without fully having a direct link, like Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens. Like there still needs to be that little bit of time that we don't see.
Yeah.
Where the First Order all of a sudden is
I think
where they are.
This is partly why like the sequel trilogies are majority hated, because it was so different to like the Empire era that people were kind of like, how have we got here? Obviously we knew like Kylo was like Han and Leia's son, and like Luke Skywalker was in it, but it's like, how did Luke Skywalker get on that planet? And what happened in between. So I think all these shows coming out and the Filoni sorry,
Finoni.
I can't talk, guys.
The Dave Filoni film.
Yeah, I think they're really gonna help it out. Just because then there will be this bridge in between, or at least somewhat of a bridge in between the the TV shows and the sequel series.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the finale. I liked again how it started. I don't know why. Every time I see a shot of the Chimera, I'm just like, I love this ship.
Yep.
Like Star Destroyers are cool, and I'm always like, yeah, Venator over a Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want like a little model or a little ship of the Chimera. It's just such an iconic, and this little painting on the bottom.
Imagine if they do we've had the UCS Star Destroyer, and now we've had the UCS Venator, which we will get tomorrow. But what if their next UCS set is going to be the Chimera?
We're getting it. I'm sorry, but we're getting it. I mean, we haven't got the room, but I'm getting it because that is.
Do you know what I think would be really cool? Like a Super Star Destroyer, but like a big one.
A big one.
A big one.
A big superstar. I think they've already done one, haven't they?
I'm not sure.
Like an older
Possibly.
set. I'm pretty sure I've seen version like.
Well, maybe we'll get that.
Well, planning ahead.
We ain't got the room at the minute, but
yeah, no, I think it's just really nice to see like the ship. It just looks good. It's just iconic, isn't it? And obviously Thrawn again, magnificent. And there's just symmetrical shots in this episode, especially at the start, where like you see the Chimera from like the bottom looking up, and it was like perfect symmetry with the Night Sister like temple.
Mm.
Then when the two TIE fighters like leave the hangar behind Thrawn, it's like,
I must say,
From-
like the cinematography in this series is so good. Like even from the first episode, because it's so much. They've taken so much inspiration from when George Lucas did the originals, like with all the shots with like the ship, like the underneath of the ship, like full on close ups, and like when you watch these, like we watched Return of the Jedi in the cinema and stuff, and it just, it's so good.
No.
You can see it gives you more of like a scary vibe. Like you can see how big it is. Like you can see that little tower with like the witch, kind of
ruins
Yeah.
temple thing on top.
kind of like Stonehenge, and then like the Crimea above it, and it looks so big and so cool.
Yeah.
And I love all the shots in this.
Yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, it has to have that pace of like, you know, you're not just going to come into it and there's going to be lightsaber battles like straight away. It's like, well, hang on, they need to get there.
Yeah.
And I like how, you know, we see the sort of Night Sisters sort of acknowledge Morgan and basically make her not so much like a great mother, or but they make her like a Night Sister with the sort of
Yeah.
like magic on the eyes, and her eyes go black like the Night Sisters, and she has the markings. And then as well, what I thought was really cool is obviously we find out that the position of Ahsoka and all that is being discovered, and two TIE fighters get sent out to them.
Mhm.
Now, I said this to you when we were watching it. I think the timing was perfect. So from the time Thrawn says to Enoch, like, send two two filers to like shoot them down or something. It's not like boom straight away and
No.
they're flying off. In that time, he has said to Enoch, get two pilots or you know, send two TIE fighters. We have the whole Night Sisters being like, Morgan, do you get rid of your old life? Stuff like that.
Which is like the same thing that Mother Talzin said to
Asajj.
Ventress.
When she come back. But again, it's like that whole time, these pilots are being told, right, get in your ship, get your systems ready. And then it's like, after all of that, it's then all of a sudden, the famous like siren. And then you see the two ships fly out. So it's like, it's like how you would expect it to be.
Mhm.
They're not going to be sat there and be like, right, let's go straight away. Like, they have to get two people, get them in the ship, get them to quickly like turn it all on and then go. So I thought that was like a little detail that was like good pacing. And then we get our look at our heroes on the shuttle, and we get to see Ezra and Huyang. And I thought this was quite a cool little meeting because it was like their personalities sort of work but contradict each other. It's very much like a C3PO and like Luke. It's like different personalities a bit, but it's quite funny. Like especially like in the New Hope when they're in the trash compactor and they're trying to like communicate.
Yeah.
But these guys watching Ezra create a lightsaber, and because obviously, you know, he's done it twice before, and he's done it without basically being told how to do it. And Ezra, what Huyang doesn't probably realize is he's probably created like the most unique lightsaber ever, in terms of one that's a blaster, like a stun blaster, and a lightsaber. Do you know what I mean?
I always really liked that one, even though it looked a bit like a staple gun.
It did. It does. I'll give you that.
But I loved it.
You know what I mean? Like, that is probably the most unique lightsaber we've ever had. Huyang, if Ezra showed him that, he would be like, "What the hell is this?" And obviously he mentions Caleb Dune, not Kanan, because obviously that was what Huyang knew him. And I loved how like he still remembers him. Like he's like, oh, he was a little bit shy.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because it's like Ezra didn't know what he was like,
No.
and I just thought it was a really cool scene. And again,
And the part from the hilt
yes.
as well.
Now, if
Yeah,
as you
like
can
2 of
see
them.
in this photo, the little hilt, the end bit, is the same as Kanan's lightsaber, where the one where he like takes it off and then puts it on. Hu Yang actually says, "I had 2 of these. Kanan had the first one, and I had kept this one in case he needed it." And I just find it very fitting that Ezra making his 3rd lightsaber
Being like king.
is basically, it goes back to that philosophy of people and their lightsabers, like the design copying their master.
Yeah.
Like when you look at Obi-Wan's in Phantom Menace, it was a very replica of Qui-Gon's.
Yeah.
And then when you look at
And Luke's
Luke
green one
is very similar of
to
Ben
Obi-Wan.
Kenobi. Yeah, Obi-Wan's, and I did see a video that we watched earlier, and and the guy was like, "How did Kanan or how did Ezra have the crystal? Like, did Hu Yang just have a box of them?" But then he mentioned about how special the connection is between the Jedi and the Kyber crystal. They go on that little journey and find it.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you, I reckon that Ezra has kept his Kyber crystal from his first one, because there was that big moment of him in the temple where he finds it and it's the same color, and it just looks so good, doesn't it? And the fact that he's got his like master's sort of lightsaber pretty much, but it's now his.
Yeah.
And it's almost like full circle, isn't it? And then obviously in this scene as well, we find out that Sabine lost all her family.
Oh yeah, in the Night of 1,000 Tears.
Which, interestingly, what I saw in a video meant that the fall of Mandalore was part of Operation Cinder, like I was telling you.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what that is, Operation Cinder is in the Battlefront 2 game, the new one. Well, I say new, it's like 2017, something like that. But basically, in the story, after the Battle of Endor, the Emperor enacts Operation Cinder, which is basically he's not dying alone, basically. So the remaining forces of the Empire are sent to target these particular planets and then orbital bombard them and basically destroy them. Clearly, Mandalore was part of Operation Cinder. And Operation Cinder is also mentioned in the episode with Mando when he's talking to the guy in the Imperial base. When they disguise as the truck drivers.
Oh yeah.
He mentions Operation Cinder there, so it's like But yeah, no, that was quite interesting. That we all sort of speculated that Sabine lost her family, but it's like clearly that was that was the cause between her and Ahsoka's sort of thing. We also get a really cool scene as well, which I like, of Sabine and Ezra, Sabine and Ahsoka, sorry, where Ahsoka's like, Anakin was the only one who stood by me, and I thought that was really nice. Like we all love we love the Ahsoka Anakin like connection, but I just think having them two like talk about it brings back the memories. It's just like, oh. And we get a really cool shot as well of like obviously the TIE fighters attacking the ship and the convoy and that. And then that they looked quite cool, the TIE fighters, because they had like the cracks in their armor again, which very good. And then after riding some howlers to the temple, we get a little bit of an orbital bombardment from the Chimera, which I thought was a little Rebels nod to, in Rebels when he does it to Lothal and he does it to the Rebel base on the planet with the Bendu and that. And then and we get this really cool shot then of obviously the three of them battling it out with the night troopers and that. And
I love this with the
this is a
sabers.
really cool shot though, isn't it?
Yeah, and they all have like their different stances as well.
Yeah,
very cool.
It's quite funny though because you look at this shot and it's like how different the personalities are. So you've got Ahsoka obviously like in the middle, looking like very prepared.
She's very samurai.
Yeah. Ezra is also looking very prepared. He knows what he's doing, and Sabine's just like, just chilling here with like my lightsaber. Like, I'm just here. Hey guys. But now something you mentioned as well after last week's episode, or after seeing this episode, you were like, now you can see why the Hasbro Black series have called it Sabine's lightsaber and not Ezra's.
Yeah, because we were thinking it was another like Rey Anakin situation where it's like they call it Rey's lightsaber, but we all know it's Anakin's. But this, obviously, Ezra didn't want it when she offered it to him, and now I think is really cool, like how he's made his saber like Kanan's.
Yeah. I
think like they couldn't have made up a better way for him to
honour him, really.
Yeah.
So
I think that's really cool.
Going back quickly to the lightsabers, one thing that I did notice, it was quite funny. There was a bit where I can't remember what he said exactly, but he said Ezra, when he building the lightsaber, said, "Oh, you've got the converter too thin," or something, and everyone's saying it's a little like nod to the fans criticizing Rebel for having like really like too thin lightsaber, like the lightsabers were too thin, and I thought that was quite funny, to be honest.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the lightsabers looked really good in like these action shots. I know a lot of people have criticized Disney's, should we say, lightsabers. I think they look quite good.
I really like it.
But yeah.
But also one.
Go on.
I don't know if I should mention it yet, but there is a point where Ahsoka loses one of her sabers. But everyone that's bought Ahsoka sabers now are going to be like, what do I do with this one?
That's what I said to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
I said all those people who just bought the legacy lightsabers at Disney from, Ahsoka, don't do it. That is why I reckon the Black Series was only the big one.
Yeah.
There you go. See, worked out.
It's kind of the same as like all these Mandalorian cosplayers. When they made like the Beskar staff, and then he melted it down to make Chainmouth Grogu.
It's like people who doing all Bo-Katan cosplays, and they had the Darksaber.
Yeah, and the Bo-Katan, she changed her shoulder piece.
It's like, God damn it, stop changing.
I thought my cosplay was cool. Oh, well, and now Ahsoka's in a white costume as well, so imagine all the Ahsoka cosplayers.
Yeah. I still haven't seen a proper like Ahsoka from Ahsoka. But again, it is pretty like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you're gonna have that done.
Although we know,
we've seen Enoch.
We've seen Enoch, and
because that was my troop of the week last week, and that was pretty good.
And there's someone that is an Ezra cosplayer, but they've made his new look in this scene as well.
Good.
Yeah. So they're working real quick.
Do you reckon we're going to get a Black Series Ezra lightsaber?
Ooh, potentially.
Because I don't think we get a really good look at like the actual base of it, like the proper hilt. But I think that'd be quite cool. If they're doing like a Sabine one, and you've got like Sabine's helmet as well,
Have we got to the bit yet with the Towson saber?
No, couldn't get that.
Okay.
But I have got the picture, so we'll talk about that when we get the picture.
Okay. Sorry, I'm too eager to talk about these sabers.
I know, you love it. Obviously, there's a bit as well in this battle which is quite interesting, where Ahsoka can see that Sabine's like struggling a little bit with the lightsaber. So she's like, Sabine, use your blasters. And to be honest, like for me, it makes so much sense because you got two like experienced, so we say Jedi, because Ahsoka and Ezra are both like Jedi. I'd say they're Jedi Knights. Ahsoka would be like a master. Ezra would definitely be a Jedi Knight. So you got two experienced who's used to blaster fire and all that. I think if I was there and I was doing it as like a strategy, I would literally be like, Sabine, shoot these guys and change it up a bit. You know, you've got Beskar armor on, so you're not exactly gonna die.
No. And this is the thing about like swords and stuff as well. Like I know she has armor on, but you have to get very kind of close unless you're sort of deflecting the fire, like gunfire. But yeah, I think like with blasters as well, she can sort of stay a bit further back and sort of take one's health out.
Yeah.
You know, while the other ones are using their sabers.
And yeah, you know, and it was also interesting seeing Ezra's fighting style is quite cool, bit unorthodox, and his use of the Force is also really good as well. Yeah. And then we see him actually push at the very end 2 night troopers into Ahsoka's like path, and she takes both of them out. You know, so his power with the Force is definitely very strong. You know. Then we get something very cool. Very, very cool. I like this. Oh, look. Look what it is. I saved it for you specifically. There we go.
It is the Sword of Talzin.
When I heard that name, I was like, wait. Go back.
You were like, hey, did you hear that? It's Talzin.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, there's a character in the Clone Wars. She's called Mother Talzin, and she's a night mother. So she's like the mother of the witches. And this was her sword that she fought Mace Windu with. Yes,
in season 6. Yeah. When she was trying to take the Force essence of Julia. Jar Jar Binks has got a little bit of girlfriend, shall we say?
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, she used that sword, and then obviously I
was saying to you, I wonder if they'll make a Black Series version of the Talzin sword.
You did, and the only reason I said I don't think they will is because it's literally just like a sword.
Yeah.
And the only difference with it is it's got like the obviously CGI sort of Night Sister magic flame on it.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, does look really cool. And
you can't really replicate it.
No, I mean, people will cosplay that, make that, because what they'll do is, I reckon, again, I'm not a cosplayer, but I reckon people who do cosplay will just create like a sort of samurai sword.
Yeah.
And they'll basically paint like a greeny paint on it. Or they'll even create like a 3D effect of like a cloud and paint that green going around it.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Maybe I should be a cosplayer.
Maybe some like cotton wool and stuff.
See, I'm a cosplayer. See, I know what I'm doing. I'm joking. I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. And after all these night troopers have been taken care of, the great mothers, which we had to get at some point, we knew it was coming, does a little chant, and they are resurrected. And how good did they look as like zombies? Like now, I know, and there isn't a little bit where I've actually got like a comparison to talk about with you guys, but these guys are like with the glowing eyes in the helmets look so good.
Oh no, I really like this. I think also because they have like the glowing eyes, like it accentuates the like green lenses in the helmet, because there's sort of this misconception of like is Stormtrooper helmet lens, are they black or are they dark green? But here you can quite clearly see they are green.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I want to know is, before they got resurrected, were they zombies before?
I don't think so. I was originally thinking that when I first saw them, but then when they got at the camp, when they got absolutely destroyed. They
Yeah.
died, and then here
They got
they
resurrected.
actually died.
Yeah.
You know, you see them get cut up, and they actually die. And then when they come back to life as the zombies,
Yeah.
the Sabine blasters that are like hitting them, they're just like literally walking it off as dead zombie. You know, so in my opinion, these and
Yeah.
but again, it's so cool to see like zombie troopers. Like
Yeah.
you know how much I love the Death Troopers.
And
Like,
we got
but-
like Halloween coming around the corner. And it's very
yeah, spooky.
cool. And this would be such a cool like. It's almost like a similar kind of cosplay to like the Commandos, where they got the lights in the lens. Like people could have like a little light in the lens.
Someone definitely can cosplay that. I mean, you know,
So
and
cool.
I think they were, Matt. And if you do, please let us know, and we'll get you on the show. I want you on the show. If you're a zombie cosplayer, a zombie stormtrooper, you're coming on.
I really want to go to a Comic-Con and see one of these.
Yeah.
I think it'd be so cool.
What I also really liked as well is when they get up to the top of the platform, after you know, as after Ahsoka starts fighting Morgan by herself, we get Death Troopers, like just normal Death Troopers, who then become
Zombie.
Death Troopers.
Ah!
I gotta be honest, that was quite funny. I was like, that's a Death Trooper, that is. I was like, that's a proper Death Trooper.
Yeah.
And they even had their
Yeah, they
they're
had
like-
a little scrambler voice.
that was so cool.
Ah!
But what I really liked as well is they made, even though not just because they were like zombies, but they made them what like the Death Troopers like bodyguards were like. They made them like really tough.
Yeah.
You know, like one of them like clotheslines like Ezra, and like basically his lightsaber goes flying. You know, one has Sabine like about to end, and that bit with the broken Death Trooper mask and like the zombie mouth.
This bit.
Look at that. Like,
Ah, it's so cool.
that is so cool. Like, but for me, right now, like I mentioned just a second ago, you guys know how much I love the Joe Schreiber Death Troopers like audiobook novel, right? This isn't like an artist image, not from the book, but like of the book and the descriptions and that. Like,
yeah.
See what I mean? Like, even though obviously you've got like the muscles and all that gone in this one, but look at like the mouth. And
This definitely.
It's like this is definitely paying homage, shall we say, to it. And if this is all I get as like Death Troopers in terms of like the book, I'll be a happy man, because this is very satisfying. Even seeing like the detail like in the helmet, like you see the little scrambler bit there, and it just looks so cool. Like, I love zombie stormtroopers, and I want more of them. And we get to see Sabine use the Force.
Yeah.
And she is confirmed as a Force sensitive, and she also has on the official Star Wars webpage, I believe, she has her like description, shall we say, has changed to Jedi.
Oh.
So she is now confirmed as like a Jedi.
A Jedi.
Which is quite cool. But yeah, no, we see her summon the Force and stab this.
Grab her lightsaber.
Yeah, a bit like Luke in the cave, because we see it wobble a little bit, like, and then she gets it, and she, stabs this Death Trooper in the head with it. Bit brutal, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's very cool.
And then obviously we get a really cool scene where they're like, we're gonna jump to get on, because as the Chimeras like sort of leaving, and I said to you as soon as I was like, this is that scene from like that Ezra did with Maul in Exegol, not Exegol, but in Malachor.
Yeah.
And we see sort of Ezra jump, and then Sabine
Pushes
clearly
him.
now fully with it with the Force, pushes him onto it. And I was saying to you, it's quite funny that little bit where there's like the two stormtroopers and they're like, huh?
Yeah, because you think he's like
Wait.
dropped. And I was like, oh no. And then all of a sudden you see his like hands there. And I was like, thank God.
And I was saying about
Oh,
those two stormtroopers just
thank
stood there
God.
like,
Yeah.
huh?
That was so good.
Yeah.
And obviously it takes him out, and then he does a hitman where he takes off one of their armor and puts it on.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Sweet.
And then we see that Sabine has decided to stay and
with Ahsoka.
save Ahsoka, and we get a good little more battle between them, and Ahsoka finishes off Morgan with the blade of Talzin and her lightsaber. Now that she's down to one, because Morgan destroys the little one, which you were like,
yeah,
you were shocked.
No, and then we were trying to work out if it was the little one or the big one.
And then when you see her like fighting
then I
afterwards,
was
it's
like,
like,
no,
yeah,
no,
it's the little one that's gone. Yeah, and then obviously they sort of get in the ship and chase after the Chimera, and then it jumps into the hyperspace in the Ring of Zion, and you're like, damn it. You feel a little bit unlucky, and then you obviously there's the Death Trooper again, and then we also get this as well. Now, all episode, to be honest, I know this is really bad, but this episode, because of what was going on, I wasn't really thinking about where Baylan or Shin is. So we see Shin has found the sort of nomads, the like sort of rogue, like people in the red armor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she sort of holds up the red lightsaber and is like, she's gone and joined them.
Yeah.
And we see Baylan, and it looks like he's on some sort of monument, sort of mountain. And we get like a close up of him stood there, and there's like a face behind him, and you're like, that looks like the Mortis God. So I was like, okay, whizzed it back, and I was like, do you know what? You're right. And then the next shot is that. It's like, yeah. That's a bit obvious. Now, see, this is the thing that I noticed first,
because
right?
I was like, oh, it's the father and the son.
And I was like, yeah, the daughter's there, but her head's been destroyed, basically. Really interesting, like, symbolism there, don't you think? But so good to see, obviously, that the father's pointing at something and Baylan is clearly looking out at it. But a lot of people saying, is the son based on Sam Witwer? I think it's quite hard to tell from the rock formation, because it almost looks like as well, like he's got like a mask on, like a bit, which he doesn't, but it's just the way that the rock carving looked. But the father is like spot on to like the Clone Wars bit. But yeah, if you look at the daughter, like obviously the head's destroyed, and like it's really interesting because like I don't remember her hair like sort of coming down in front. See what I mean?
Yeah.
If you look here, there's like her hair like there and there.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite interesting. But again, someone also pointed out that I saw, and it's very like the last shot that we see of Baylan and Rey. Ray Stevenson. He's on the hand of the like Star Wars gods.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah. Another little note, little thank you to Ray for bringing Baylan to live action and being probably the best cast for Baylan anyone could do. Such a shame and sad that we're not going to be able to see this character progress anymore. I know for a fact that they won't like recast him, because that will just diminish what Ray did, But yeah, the Mortis gods are here. Very interesting. And are they pointing towards where Abeloth is? Maybe. That would be quite cool.
I mean, I don't really know what they're gonna do with Baden now, because like obviously they filmed this, but now I don't know if they're gonna kill him off screen. Like maybe he tried to find Abeloth and then didn't make it.
Well, I think they have to kill him off
Sure.
screen because
Unless they do kind of like a thing they do with Luke Skywalker, where they put Rey's face on someone else. But
I think it would be more meaningful if it was like hinted at that he found possibly Abeloth, if that's where they're going with this, and then he died, like found it, like you fight, or maybe like we see her, and we see like his lightsaber and cloak or something on the floor by her feet or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that. It's like, oh, okay, so he was there, but it's like, he's gone. But yeah, that was a pretty cool scene in my opinion. And we also get the Chimera.
I
was like, that's Dathomir. So we get Dathomir in live action.
So cool.
And it does look very good, to be honest. I was like, am I playing like Fallen Order again?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, when you come out of like the hyperspace, like when you got the planet, I was like, oh my god, I'm back.
Yeah.
And we also get that long shot in the Star Destroyer of all the caskets of all the like Night Sisters or brothers, and I can't wait to see where we go with that. But again, like I was saying, with like up in the air questions, like where are we going with this? Like, what are we doing? We've got also this scene which I really liked. Obviously, we see the sort of ship land on Home One, and at first I was like, "Oh, is this like another Jedi being like, I've come to help," sort of thing?
Yeah.
And then no, the thing comes down, and out comes a stormtrooper. Now, again, I do understand that this is quite a funny scene, and the fact is, like, why didn't he take his armor off? Why didn't he take his helmet off?
Yeah, because he could have shot him.
Yeah. And I love how, even though he's in the armor, Chopper is like, wait a minute, and is the first to go over. Now, to be honest, I know it's going to sound really bad, but I was expecting more of a reaction between Chopper and Ezra, because of their connection and their like sort of love-hate relationship in Rebels. I thought they would have been, Chopper would have been like, and then like Ezra being like, hey, it's me, buddy, it's me.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just a simple little like rest his hand on it. And Hera's like looking on like, what the hell is going on here? And then we get this shot, and I really enjoyed this, seeing Ezra like seeing Hera again, and just like smiling, like he just looks happy.
Yeah.
And then when he says to her, he's like, hi Hera, and then he's like, I'm home. It's like, oh, he come back. And like, it's so nice to see him and like Hera finally sort of being reunited again. You know, now we just need Zeb to come back.
Yeah,
that's all we need.
I'm surprised we didn't see Zeb, but you know,
yeah,
we saw him in the Mando.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be coming back. So, but yeah, no, it was just nice to see that. And then obviously we get sort of, obviously Ahsoka and Sabine have been stranded on Peridia with Huyang and the Naughty. I love those guys.
They're so cute.
The Naughty. I love the little, actually going back to the episode, I love the bit where the three of them are going off on the Howlers.
Yeah.
And you just get Sabine, you just get Huyang working on the ship with the Naughty like sat there working on it as well, and they're just like, I thought that was really cute. I thought it was quite cool. And then we get this quite nice scene of sort of them two sort of talking about what's next, and you know, Ahsoka basically being like, we're meant to be here. This is where we're meant to be, sort of thing. And you know, and I kind of understand that, but they definitely will be coming back to the galaxy at some point. And we get that weird bit where like Ahsoka walks off, Sabine's looking out, and she's like, it was weird. She was like, I thought I saw like someone in like the shadow of the stars, I think
Yeah.
she says. And then like Ahsoka sees and looks and then sort of gives a smile and then walks off. And then we get like
Oh,
basically the end shot of the series
I
of
love it.
Anakin's Force Ghost just stood there watching over Ahsoka and her
So
Padawan.
good. I
But-
mean, we wanted to see Anakin for forever, and then we see him a little bit in Kenobi, and now like he's been in multiple episodes in this.
But I think
series.
what makes this
So
special, right? In Kenobi,
So-
it was like a flashback, and obviously him as like Vader. In this series, in like we've had him as like some sort of like astral projection in the world between worlds, as him in like Clone Wars. All of it has been like flashbacks and previous Anakins, whereas this little scene of Anakin looking over
is actually Anakin
is Anakin after Return of the Jedi. This is like the first time that we've seen Anakin
after
after,
Blue Ghost.
Yeah. And you know he's just stood there watching contemptly, like. But I don't think it's the end we've seen of him. Some people are saying it's the last time we'll see
No.
Hayden. I think he's going to be like. I think what he's going to do, what like Ben did to Luke in like Empire when he comes back as the like Force Ghost and tells him like what to do.
Point of view.
I think Anakin's going to be like that with Ahsoka
Yeah.
for a little bit. Maybe he meets Sabine. Sabine
Yeah.
sees him or something would be quite cool. But yeah, no.
I think
What a way.
Anakin's Force Ghost meeting Luke would be
Oh.
incredible.
That's the one
We
everyone
need that.
wants. That
Yeah.
would be. I think in the cinema that
I
would be.
think Star Wars would be completed at that point.
But he just he just looks so good,
So
and
cool.
like it's like that's Anakin, 100%.
Like he looks like he's just walked off of Revenge of the Sith.
He does. He
Like,
generally
he
does.
looks so good. Love it.
How would you rate the series overall?
I loved it. I don't know. I'm probably gonna say like 9.5.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I think like I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Because I'm quite a big like Mandalorian and Clone Wars lover. But like a lot of the characters in the shows, like from Rebels and yeah, I don't know. But then, you know, we got to see Captain Rex live action, which was so cool. We got to see lots of Anakin. We've got, I think, Rebels almost helped out this series where like it gave Ezra and Sabine and Hera and everyone a backstory, and there was some like such good episodes. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 9.5.
I'm
really
gonna give
liked
it
it.
9.7. I really enjoyed it. I'm saying for me, I know this is.
I mean, when it started, I thought nothing would top Mandalorian, but this might be my new favorite live action.
This is my favorite live action.
Might be.
I said this could be my live favorite, and it is.
I
I'm sticking
I
by
will
that.
still stick by the fact that Grogu is the cutest creature in all of Star Wars, but I really like this show.
But yeah, no, definitely, I'm saying this is
So good.
favorite live action. The way that it was done, you know, when I think back to what we've seen in this show, from like, you know, what I've watched growing up, Anakin in Clone Wars, Anakin back, Rex, Sabine, Hera,
Yeah.
Ezra, Hu Yang, you know,
Yeah.
the Night Sisters, Thrawn, the Chimera, you know. But again,
so much.
like I was saying, there's so much in the air of like what's going to happen. So you've got obviously Ezra's now back,
Yeah.
with Hera, and he's got the Stormtrooper armor,
Yeah.
and he can show to the New Republic, like Mon Mothma with Hera. Where I've been, I was in another galaxy.
Yeah.
Thrawn is back. I am from his ship. the Night Sisters. What are they doing with Thrawn right now? What is Sabine and Ahsoka doing? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. There's so much stuff that we need to like.
Yeah.
We seem to like unpack. Like, just get the film out now, Dave. Come on.
Yeah.
Show us the
We
film.
need more.
Give us the
I
film.
want more. And I know I shouldn't.
Yeah, I do want one. But
Oh,
yeah.
what are we gonna do Wednesdays now? I find this every time the series ends. I'm like, what am I gonna do on Wednesday? And then like a new series gets announced, and I'm like, oh, can't wait.
Yeah, we're going to be going back, I think, to more of the episodes like we used to do, like talking about planets, characters, topics.
Yeah.
It's going to be back to those sorts of days, and obviously we're going to
Yeah.
get guests coming
Yeah,
back on as
we need
well,
guests.
and we cannot wait for that. But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed our Ahsoka episode breakdowns anyway, because there's a lot to sit there and listen to two people talking about a show that you've probably watched, but hopefully we've picked up on stuff that you might not have seen. Maybe like Ezra's Scout Trooper helmet that no one else seemed to pick up till like the other day. Thank you, by the way, that was me. But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed that. I think it's time to. Should we do our meme of the week first? Should we do meme of the week?
Yeah, I'm gonna do troopers.
So this one is her master was Anakin Skywalker, and then it's Thrawn, but with the Michael Scott being like, "Oh bugger," thanks, because that's exactly how Thrawn reacted. Yeah, this is how Thrawn reacted to to finding out that her master was Anakin. He was like, "I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that
he knows
one bit."
who Anakin is. Anakin is the chosen one.
Yeah.
He knows who he's up against.
Yes.
Or at least an idea.
But yeah, shall we do Troopers of the Week quickly?
Yeah. Do you want me to start?
You can go first. I will see if I can find mine quickly.
So my Trooper of the Week, someone I found on TikTok. He's called George Medina, and I believe he makes like computers. But he's made a Darth Vader computer. It's super cool. I'll see if I can show you guys a little bit of it. So it's like a Darth Vader computer with lots of red lights.
That's my favorite
one.
That was my favorite bit.
There's also a little like tiny lightsaber. There you go. So it's like Darth Vader's hill and a little light. But yeah, super cool. So it's all black and red. Like I would have. I mean, my laptop is very Darth Vader-esque, very similar to that. So I have like a gaming laptop that has like red light up keyboard, and I put the screensaver as Darth Vader because Darth Vader is the best in all Star Wars. But yeah, I saw that the other day and I thought that was really cool. I wouldn't have the slightest clue of how to make a computer, but yeah, it was really cool. That's something different as well.
Yeah. Cool. Mine, I've decided. I was having a little look, and I was like trying to find someone and force it, but I'm actually going to go with someone that I actually saw, and he's a second-time Trooper of the Week now. Okay. I've cloned the Cam the Clone Trooper.
Good Trooper Cam.
Yeah. So now I'm getting confused with Will the Clone Trooper. Yeah, no, Clone Trooper Cam. He's one of he's a friend of the podcast now, family of the podcast as we call him.
He's been on
and he done a video the other day, and I actually thought it was really good. It was when it said when it's my turn to give the bedtime story, and it's him stood by the bed in his clone armor, and he's telling his son, it's got the audio of the what I remember about the journey to Coruscant. Was how quiet it was. The one that Tem does in the old Battlefront 2 game with the 501st Journal. The one that we did for when we were meeting Tem video. But yeah, I just was like, I really like that. That's sort of typical Cam, and Cam getting another shout out, mate. So yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
cool.
We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. I know it's been a little bit different day, but these things happen. And yeah, you keep an eye on our sort of social medias because obviously tomorrow. Yeah. Also, keep giving Will the Clone Trooper some support. He's loving it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. I think we're back on the Thursday. I don't think we've got any
believe so.
plans. But yeah,
We'll let you know.
yeah. Keep an eye on our socials, and we will see you next
In the
week.
next one.
May the force be with you guys.